If you want to hit $20,000 a month in profit, I'm going to give you the moves that you need to make. Just actual things that you can do that I've done that will change your life. Now, there's 1,000 ways to get to a bag, so these aren't the only ways, but these are the methods that took me from a 9-to-5 to 20K a month with 6 months of hard work on the right things. I always wanted to be ducked off somewhere, just making money off of my laptop, and that's exactly what I did. This is me at my old job, pushing around a dolly, working in a warehouse. I really had no skills and no idea what I wanted to do. A lot of you might be in the same situation. So in this video, I'm going to take myself back and give you the blueprint I followed with no skills, no motion to get to where I'm at now. First thing you'll need to do is analyze your situation, right? You got to sit down and take note of what you got, what you can take advantage of, and what you need to do. When I first started, I did not have much. I was doing Lyft almost every day for money, working a warehouse job. I didn't have good credit. So the first thing that I focused on was getting my credit right, because this is a big piece of the puzzle that a lot of people don't really understand, is getting your credit right. If your credit is good, you can take a lot of shortcuts that people with bad credit cannot. And the biggest one is getting funded. If you have good credit, you can form an LLC, which in Texas is like $300. You could form an LLC and go to a bank and get funding from them to go ahead and start your business. A lot of times this is anywhere from $25,000 to $150,000 depending on how good your credit profile looks and how good you set up your LLC. From there, the ball is really in your court. You can choose what business you want to do. You can spend the money that it takes up front to start that business the correct way. And honestly, if you have good credit, this is the way that you should go. Whenever I get students coming to me looking to get going, I always ask them what their credit is at. Because if your credit is good, the first thing I'm gonna focus on is getting you funded. Now, if you're like me and your credit is not good, then you're gonna have to do two things at one time. The first thing you're gonna have to do is start repairing your credit. Now, I get you don't wanna do this, and I get that it can be a hassle, but trust me, you will thank yourself later if you work on your credit right now. There's almost no better move that you can make when it comes to securing a bag than getting good credit. If your credit is messed up, you need to start cleaning your credit, whether you find someone to clean your credit for you or start learning the CFPB laws and start learning how to clean your credit yourself. Either way works, you just gotta start doing one of them. Now, also don't mistake a good credit score for a good credit profile. I've seen people get denied for funding that have a 700 because they only have one credit card on their profile. To get the maximum amount of funding, a good credit profile needs to have 4 to 6 open accounts with positive history. And this could mean an auto loan, a mortgage, a credit card, something like Boom Pay or Rent Reporters that's reporting rent as your payments, or any store cards or anything that runs your credit. You also need to have no late payments within the last 2 years and no negative inquiries. Another thing is when you're going for funding, the higher the limits you have on your personal cards or your personal loans, the better limits that you're gonna get overall. So a good rule of thumb is every 3 months on every credit card that you have, you should be asking for a credit limit increase. Even if you don't plan to use it, the higher limits you have on your personal credit cards, the higher limits you're gonna get when you go for business credit cards. And this is what I had to do. I had to focus on getting my credit right and getting my profile looking strong. So that way, whenever I was good for funding within about 6 months from then, I could go ahead and go get funding and really turn up my business. But I was in a bad position, and I don't encourage anyone to just sit and wait while your credit is being repaired or being worked on. You cannot sit around and wait for a bag to come to you. You gotta start going to get it, and that's exactly what I did. So the two things that I started around this time when I was getting my credit going was Amazon FBA and credit repair. I will be the first to tell you, if you're starting from zero, you don't have any skills, you don't have any experience making money online, you don't have good credit, Amazon FBA, credit repair, those are the two best businesses that you can get into as a beginner. Amazon FBA, because you can start with very little and scale quickly, and it does not take so long to learn. Credit repair is a little bit on the harder side to learn. It's a little bit more intricate. The laws are changing sometimes, but with Amazon FBA, the blueprint is very solid. You see student success stories all the time on my Instagram highlights, on my stories. Everything is pretty much the same when it comes to Amazon. You're buying products and flipping them online and flipping them on Amazon for a more expensive price. The main thing that you have to learn when it comes to Amazon is sourcing. If you can source good products, you can work from anywhere in the world and get your work done. You could find products and put them into your store. And that was one thing that was very attractive to me in the beginning, was that I can go to Miami, I can go to Houston, I can go to New York and work on my laptop while I'm on vacation and still be getting work done, still be getting money, which is essentially what I do now. So my plan I was cooking up while I was at my 9-to-5 was, all right, this first check that I get, I'm gonna invest $500 into inventory, because in my mind, I'm like, the more I can put into it, the more money I'm gonna make back, right? Which is true, But when you're working a 9 to 5, you're kind of trying to like too much at once. And I was trying to like, I got to pop off and quit my job by next week. It's not going to sustain itself. It's not going to happen. All right. You need a little bit of time to make this happen, at least like 3 to 5 months. What I learned along the way and what I would plan for if you're planning to start Amazon is it's not about how much you start with. It's about how much you keep investing over time. So for me, I invested the 500. I started seeing some return, but then I was like, damn, so if I invest another 300 from this next check, I'm going to start getting more return. So then what I did, gave myself a limit. Every week I need to spend at least $150 on products, right? So that was like the check for me. At the time, that was not cheap, man. I was kind of pinching pennies at the time, but I knew I was hustling for a greater purpose. I knew I was going to make this happen, right? I needed to get my family out of the situation they were in. I needed more money. I was tired of being in the struggle, just like everybody else out there. So that's Amazon FBA, right? Now, Amazon FBA does not take that much time. Once you've got it down, once you've learned it, you're going to spend about 3 to 4 weeks learning the ins and outs, learning the blueprint, learning how to send stuff to Amazon, how to find products. After that, it really does not take that much time to do this stuff, to run your Amazon store, right? You're packaging and sending out items to the Amazon warehouse maybe an hour to a day at the absolute max, and then sourcing maybe 4 to 8 hours a week. So I got the Amazon thing going, and I started realizing like I got a little bit more time, because my thing whenever I was working this 9 to 5 is a switch went off in my head. I have too much free time. I've got this 9 to 5. I want more in my life, but I'm not really going after it, because in my free time I'm hanging out with friends, I'm watching TV, I'm playing video games, stuff like that. So I knew I had to get in there and get after it. And so I locked in, and I just told myself I'm not going to have free time no more. I'm going to work on my business. So instead of working on Amazon and then having free time, in my excess free time after working on Amazon, I went ahead and started doing credit repair, because credit repair takes a little bit more work and a little bit more knowledge, learning how to do it, but it's no overhead basically. Like with Amazon, you have to buy products and put them into your store. With credit repair, you really don't have to buy anything. You just have to learn how to do it. Now you could do this 2 ways. You could either learn stuff off of YouTube, right? Learn the methods off YouTube, or go ahead and get into a mentorship. I went ahead and got into a mentorship for Amazon and for credit repair. So I started learning credit repair in the mentorship and on YouTube as well. And the first thing you want to do when you're starting credit repair is get some client results. So that way you can get more customers. Just start cleaning credit for the people around me, friends, family, anyone that I knew that either didn't have credit and just needed to know how to start their credit, or had bad credit and I just had to clean it for them. These will be your testimonials. You'll start posting on social media and literally just start uploading videos of you talking about credit. Literally just things that people don't know about credit. You'd be surprised how many people don't know about credit. They want good credit. They don't know how to get it, and they need someone to help them. So I started repairing credit, and then from there, I would take that money, put it into my Amazon store for products. Amazon is really like a bank, right? So you're out there hustling, making money with credit repair, making money from your job. Instead of putting your money in a bank and holding it in there, you hold your money in products in your Amazon store, because in a bank, your money that's standing in the bank is not making any money if it's making cents per year, right? But when you're holding money in products, those products can have a 30, 40, 50, 60, even 70% return on investment whenever you're flipping them. So treat Amazon FBA as your bank, and credit repair and your 9 to 5, treat your 9 to 5 as your income, and treat your Amazon FBA store as a bank, right? Hold your money as products in your store. So that's what I did for a very long time, and then started networking, right? This is a very underrated part of making money online, is networking, because I always knew that you could get funded, right? This is what I'm cleaning my credit for, so that I can get funded. But what I also didn't know is if you don't know how to get people funded, you can send those people to the people who know how to get them funded and take a percentage off the top. Now you'll start to see a theme with this online money space, which is the more that you can connect people with the right people, the more money that you'll make. My bad, y'all, my camera died on me. If you can connect these entrepreneurs that have a good credit score and they're trying to start a business, a lot of these entrepreneur types are really grinding hard with not a whole lot of money. Maybe they borrow money from family, maybe they are using their money from their 9 to 5. If you can connect these entrepreneurs with these funding partners and say, look, I can get funded, I can connect you to someone who can get you 25, 50, 100K in funding, zero interest funding, that way you can go ahead and start and start that business or really turn that business up, that's a huge piece, because these funding partners typically take 10% out of the funding that they get these people. So for example, I would set people up with these people that I knew, get someone funded for $100,000, their cut is $10,000, and they give you a piece of that. Usually it'll be somewhere around $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000. But making $1,000 off of just literally connecting someone, that was a big eye opener for me to understand that connecting people to the right people can be a business in its own, right? So this started opening my eyes to see, like, wait, wow, I can do a whole lot of other things than I previously thought. I don't just have to be trading my time for money. I don't just have to be out here grinding. And that kind of happened by accident. So you'll start networking. Now you know how to do credit. Now you know how to do Amazon FBA. Now you're connecting people with these connections that you're making because you're joining the online money space. You're joining these mentorships. You're rubbing elbows with people who have motion. A lot of times just being around people who are doing the right things can benefit you in a big way. Now let's go ahead and talk about funding, right? A lot of people want to know about funding. There's two different ways that you can basically go about this. You've got credit card stacking and you've got actual business funding. So credit card stacking can be done on the personal credit side or the business credit side. It's basically where you're stacking different bureaus on top of each other, different credit cards on top of each other to get a big pool of money that you can spend, right? So this is an example would be like, I go out and I helped you get a good credit score. Now I'm going to take you and go credit card stack. So I get you a credit card from Chase for $10K. I get you a credit card from Truist for $9K. I get you an Amex Gold for $5K. I get you an Apple card for $8K. I get you a Key Bank card. All these different cards, and they all add up to a big amount of money, and then I take my cut from that. Or funding is done on the business side. This is where you're building up a good credit profile, you're building up a good credit score for people, and then you're taking them through a relationship manager in a bank like Chase, right? Where you are getting them funded for anywhere from $25,000 to $150,000 all in one go, all on one card. These banks are giving business funding on business cards, a lot of money on one card. So that's the kind of difference between business funding and credit card stacking, and that's another thing that you can start doing for people, because once their credit is repaired, now you have a play, right? Now you have the job of either, now you've done their credit, now you connect them either to someone who knows how to do funding, or you can do their funding sequence yourself. You can do things like credit card stack for them. You can do things like get them funded. And then from there, if you already know how to do Amazon FBA, now you can, maybe they don't know what they want to get into. Some people, they got ideas. They want to do a lash studio. They want to do a landscaping business. But also some people just want to make money. And so if that's the case, you could just funnel them right into Amazon FBA, which a lot of times is what I do. In my mentorship, I teach people how to do Amazon FBA. I get them funded and I clean their credit all in one place. And this helps me, one, make a lot more money, but it also helps the people who are joining have a way higher success rate, because instead of getting these people in here and only teaching them Amazon FBA, and then maybe they don't have the money to do it, or maybe they get discouraged, they have that funding and that credit behind them. Whereas if I was only doing their credit, maybe I just repair their credit, and now I'm missing out on a whole other bag because I could have helped them make more money off of that more credit. The main takeaway that you should take from this video is that the more money that you help people make, the more money that they will help you make. I get referrals all the time. I get people joining saying that, oh, my friend started your mentorship and now they're making a lot of money and I want to do the same thing. He referred me to you, or she referred me. You will get those all day. Money will start coming in ways that you had no plans for, as long as you help people make money. And that's the switch that you also have to make, is when you're working a 9 to 5 and you're really grinding, all you're focused on is yourself. All you're focused on is, how can I make money? But really the switch comes whenever you start focusing on, how can I make other people money? I have paid other people more money from them showing me that they can make me money than people asking for it. I hang up on sales calls all the time. People call me, they want to sell me stuff. People DM me, oh, how about I make you a video? How about I become your editor? Bro, I don't need none of that. But the instant I start seeing people become assets in my life, that's when I'm like, I need to pay you more. So start becoming assets in people's life. In the beginning, especially with credit repair, you're gonna have to work for free. You're gonna have to get some testimonials behind you so that you can show what you're worth. But that's why you have Amazon FBA on the side, to also supplement that income. Doing these things in tangent is going to make sure that you're like a machine, that you're on path, that you're on a proven path. Because I've done this path and I didn't get it just from out of thin air. I had mentors that showed me how to do these things. There are people that have done the things that you want to do. All you have to do is copy those formulas. Now, this is a legit path from 0 to 20K a month, and it can all be done online, all right? To summarize what we've been talking about, because I've been rambling a little bit, you're gonna take your 9-to-5 money, instead of spending it on shoes, instead of spending it on food, instead of spending it on all the BS that you usually spend, right? Because we spend way more than we have to. At least I know I did. Cut back on some of that, make a sacrifice for the future. Take that 9-to-5 income, put it into Amazon FBA, right? Have Amazon as your bank. Then, if you still got time, start repairing people's credits. At least start learning about credit is like I said, one of the best things that you can do to get to a bag. Whether that's repairing credit for others, learning how to structure your own credit profiles, or learning about funding, start learning about credit. Amazon FBA and credit are two things that go hand in hand that will continue making money for years and years and years. They're going to be making millionaires for as long as Amazon is here. This is a definite method that can get you straight to a bag, get you to those 20K months very quickly. The main thing here is, like I said, focus on helping people and stay focused. You gotta keep working. Everybody wants to live the lifestyle at first, but you gotta put the work in to live that lifestyle. So this is just a quick breakdown of everything I did to get from where I was to where I'm at. If you're looking to hop into mentorship for Amazon FBA, get you funding and get your credit right, you can DM me on Instagram. Links are below. I'll have links to work with me below, one-on-one mentorship links and everything like that. Hope y'all have a good Sunday, and as always, sell things online and make lots of money.